Oi, oi, welcome. It is the new moon in Aries solar eclipse workshop, and holy shit, it's an intense one. So buckle up, get ready. If this is the first workshop that you're tuning into with me, then welcome. If you do like what you see, please like and subscribe because it helps us reach more people. And if you are a returning moonie, then welcome back. Lots of love. Um, right, where do we even start with the energy at this time, right? So new moons are around the beginning of a new moon cycle, but this isn't just any new moon, okay? It's the first new moon of the astrological new year, okay? So think new beginnings, right? Fresh starts, all that good shit. But it is also a partial solar eclipse around this time. An eclipse season is intense as fuck, very dramatic, okay? But it can also be such a powerful time for big transformations, big dramatic shifts in my lives as well. So eclipses align with the moon's nodes, and they're known to be related to our kind of karmic patterns as well as our destinies, okay? So there's a potential for huge, big, significant life changes around this time. So just be prepared for that. And it often around this time forces us to think of the things that it is that we're needing to kind of get rid of, right? So the things that are no longer serving us, the shit that just needs to go, okay? So we need to let go of the old to make space for the new, because there's so much new energy that's coming in around this time, and you want to be prepared for that, right? So around this time, it's a really powerful time to focus on being open to change, but also not forcing anything, okay? We don't want to kind of make any huge rash decisions around eclipse season, because eclipse season can also be very confusing, and it's just intense as fuck, let's be honest. And I'm so sorry for my language. Please cover little one's ears, because I've got a feeling it's just going to come out and I'm going to have absolutely no control over it today. Yeah, so just mentioned about the eclipse, right? This new moon is in Aries. In Aries energy, okay, Aries is the first zodiac of the cycle, okay? So like I say, we're the start of the astrological new year. Think like January 1st, right? This is the kind of energy that we're bringing. New beginnings, fresh start. Aries is also a fire sign, right? And they are fiery as fuck, right? So Aries energy tends to be known for, being very passionate, very determined, getting shit done type of energy. And they've always got such strong desires to get the absolute most from life, okay? And they do tend to be natural leaders as well. Like, I've got quite a lot of Aries in my life, like people who have the sun in Aries. So my mom's an Aries, my grandma, my brother. I think 80% of the boyfriends I've ever had have always been Aries. So I'm a little bit too in tune with the Aries energy, but it can be really good. So Aries is a cardinal sign as well, which means it's very kind of self-starting, okay? So it's really good for like starting projects, like I say, like starting to grease the wheels a little bit and get shit going. They also love a challenge as well, and like, getting themselves out there, quite fearless. It's quite a fearless sign. But there's always two sides to a coin, okay? And Aries does have the tendency to what is the word that I can describe here? Very impulsive, okay? And not everyone, I'm not saying this, I'm not attacking Aries in any way, right? We've all got Aries somewhere in our chart, but we do tend to be very impulsive, the Aries energy. And also, if you think of the symbol of Aries, which is the ram, right? These are supposed to be my little ram horns. You know, around the time of Aries season, we can ram into things without actually thinking things through, okay? So it can be very impulsive. So we want to try and avoid making any major rash decisions, okay? And around the new moon as well, right? We're always focusing on, because obviously the new moon is the start of a new moon cycle, we're always thinking of setting our intentions, setting the goals, how we're intending to feel, how we're intending to show up, all of that good stuff. But it's not necessarily the time to take the action, okay? It's just the time to plan and kind of analyze what it is that you're wanting to do. And then as the moon starts to wax, that's when you want to start taking the action, okay? So we're not kind of rushing in anything. Aries is also ruled by the planet Mars, and Mars is known for being that kind of action taker, getting shit done, like, let's fucking go type energy. So that is definitely something that we need to try and rein in. Not try and rein in, maybe that's the wrong way of saying it, but just be aware of. We just want to be aware of that, okay? And also, at the time of this new moon, Mercury is conjunct with Neptune in the sign Pisces, okay? So around this time, we can be a little bit more sensitive than usual, but our intuition is also really heightened. So it's a really good time to kind of slow down, notice any signs, any kind of messages that are coming. Really good time for meditation, journaling, all of that kind of stuff, because you'll find around this time that you'll get some valuable insights and some valuable downloads when you're taking the time to slow down and chill, okay? So that's a little bit of an energy update. So key points, don't rush forward in anything. We're just trying to now sit and plan and think about how we're wanting this astrological year to go, okay? So thinking long term, this time next year, what is it that you're wanting to have achieved? What kind of person is it that you're wanting to be? What kind of impact are you wanting to make? All of that kind of stuff, right? So that is what we're wanting to focus on. So before we go into the journaling prompts, we're going to do a little bit of breath work. It's just going to be really simple, really easy, nothing too extreme. It's going to be quite a cooling breath work as well. Then I've got 5 journaling prompts for you, and then we'll finish with a meditation. So nice and simple, okay? And if you want something a little bit more personalized, I'm going to give you some tips at the end of the workshop as well. So find yourself in a comfortable position. I am going to put a little bit of backing music on. We'll see. I don't know how good it's going to sound through the camera, because I am still quite rusty at doing these workshops. It's been a hot minute since I've been recording online, but we'll go with it. We'll see. Okay, so like I say, get yourself in a comfortable position. See if you can try and lengthen from the crown of the head, okay? So we want a nice long spine, clear airways, but we don't want to be too rigid. So see if you can get yourself nice and tall and then just relax your shoulders down into it, right? There's no point in being like this if our muscles are going to be like that, right? We want to try and just relax into it so we can just really bring myself into the here and now, okay? So bringing ourselves in. And I just want you to first notice your breathing. So we're not changing anything with the breath just yet. If you feel comfortable enough to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so, or you might want to keep them open. That's absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong way to do this, really. And I just want you to notice, as you breathe in, where in the body you're responding to your breath. So, you might notice the rise of your chest. Then as you breathe out, maybe just imagine you're letting any tension, any stress or discomfort, you're just letting it all out with the breath as you exhale. And then when you're ready to, I want you to just intentionally lengthen each breath, but nothing too forced, still really gentle, nice and natural. See if you can make your next in-breath that little bit deeper, and then make your next out-breath that little bit longer. And as we start to slow down, as we start to tune inwards, maybe notice if you can feel that sense of calm and stillness wash over your body. And then when you're ready to, we're going to start counting the breaths, okay? So we're going to breathe in for the count of 3, then we're going to breathe out for the count of 5. And my count of 3 might be a little bit faster, maybe a little bit slower than yours, so just go at your own breathing rhythm. We're just going to do a few rounds of these. So like I say, we're breathing in for 3, breathing out for 5, just extending that exhale. And then when you're ready to, you might want to stay with that variation if you wish, or you might want to see if you can add a pause in between the in-breath and the out-breath. So you would breathe in for the count of 3, you would then hold your breath for the count of 3, then gently breathe out for the count of 5. But again, take whatever variation is going to suit you best today. And again, it should still just feel nice and natural, nothing too forced. If it feels like you're really struggling to hold your breath, or if the counts are too long, just bring them down a little bit. And then after this next one, I invite you to just bring your breathing back to its natural rhythm. You might want to open your eyes if you've had them closed. Maybe add a little bit of gentle movement into the body, shaking the shoulders, giving the arms a little bit of a roll, maybe shaking your bum, whatever you want to do. Okay, so hopefully we're feeling a little bit more calm, so I can kind of invite in that clarity when it comes to the journaling prompts. So I've got 5 journaling prompts, okay, and you're welcome to pause the video and delve deeper into them as we go through, or you might just want to write down the questions and maybe delve deeper at a time that feels better for you, okay, but they're just here as a little guide, okay, and I will do little timing stamps as well, so you can just click on the time and go to the next ones if that feels, if you do want to come back to the video. So I'm just going to grab a hold of them actually, because I'll end up forgetting if not. And you know, I'm a right geek. I write all my notes and colour them in and everything, because I will forget if not. Okay, so journaling prompt number 1. What is a major change I would like to make in my life, and what might be holding me back from making it? So that's kind of like 2 in 1, okay? So what major change would I like to make in my life, and what might be holding me back from making that change? So obviously eclipse season, again, big themes of change, new beginnings, fresh starts. What changes are you wanting to make? What changes do you know deep down in your soul that are going to help you level the fuck up when it comes to this next new year, this next astrological year, I should say? And also, what might be holding you back from doing that? Is it fear of being seen? Is it the opinion of others? You know, whatever's shown up for you, you're going to know better than me. I'm just chipping in my 2 pence as always, and I need to not do that. Okay, so that is journaling prompt number 1. Now we'll move on to journaling prompt number 2. How can I be more assertive and true to myself, especially when faced with external pressures or expectations? So Aries energy, again, just focusing on the other side of the coin, okay, can be very me. So sometimes that can be perceived as being quite selfish. However, it is actually really important to put yourself first as well. So especially around this season, Aries season, this is the time that you want to be focusing on you, pouring into you. So yes, it's nice to be of service of others and all of that kind of stuff, but you've just got to notice, like, are you giving yourself your best self, or just what's left of you? Like, are you constantly pouring into others, and then whatever time you've got left, you'll do your self-care? You know what I mean? Like, are you doing that? Like, you need to think, how can you be more assertive? Because Aries energy is very, like, yes, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say bossy, but like, you know, they'll tell you how it is, they'll get shit done, they don't care, like, you know, there's nothing getting in their way type thing. So yeah, especially when there's external pressures and expectations, okay? So that's just a nice one to help you focus on how you can start just, you know, having that level of authority over your life and taking that leadership and, you know, doing what's best, what you know is best for you. Okay, so that's number 2. We're going to move on to journaling prompt number 3. So what areas of my life need more action, and what areas need more stillness and self-analysis? So what areas or aspects of your life do you feel you need to put a little bit more time and energy into? And then what areas of your life can you kind of just maybe take a step back and think, I need to think about this, I need to reflect, and all that kind of stuff. So basically finding that balance, like what needs a little bit more of your energy, and what do you need to like pull back from a little bit type thing. So I hope that makes sense. So that is number 3. We're going to move on to number 4. What is a fear I am ready to face head on during this Aries season? Aries energy, again, is very fearless, right? Like, let's fucking go. No fucks matter. Sorry, I don't know why I'm swearing so much. It's the Aries energy, I'll blame that. But yeah, so this is a really powerful time, right, to face those fears. Because we've got that Aries energy, right, you're going to have a lot more confidence when it comes to just showing up. And it could even be like having a conversation with someone, like a difficult conversation that you're kind of putting off. It could be how you're showing up on social media, how you're showing up in friendship groups, just how you're maybe showing up and expressing yourself, you know, with the way that you dress, or, you know, sharing your opinions of how you feel. Like, just notice what it is that you are a little bit fearful of, and what fears do you feel like you're ready to tackle, because this is the good time to do that, okay? So that is journaling prompt number 4. And then last but not least, we've got journaling prompt number 5. So how can I use this eclipse energy to close one chapter and step confidently into the next phase of my life? Okay. So when you're thinking of, the kind of the things that you want to release and let go of, whether it's self-limiting beliefs, whether it's certain thought patterns, it could be toxic cycles that you're in, maybe unhealthy habits that you just kind of seem to shift and let go of. How can you use the energy around this time now to close that chapter and just be like, right, done, closure, boom, see ya. So you can step confidently into this next phase, knowing that you've got all of this extra space, this extra energy, and this extra vitality to do all of this new stuff and welcome in these new opportunities, these new people, these new experiences, whatever it is. So yeah, that is journaling prompt number 5. So now we're just going to finish with a simple meditation, and then I'm going to give you some top tips on how to delve a little bit deeper into a moon ritual if you feel like you want to do that, okay? Obviously, it's always optional. So find yourself in a nice, comfortable seated position again. Try and see if you can root down through your seat bones, but just sit in a way that feels comfortable for you. So whether you're on a chair, you might be on a cushion, you might have your legs crossed, you might have them out long. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. And see if you can just relax the shoulders down, maybe gently close the eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. And again, just start tuning into your breathing, okay? So maybe notice the rise of your chest as you breathe in, your lungs fill with air. And then maybe notice the shoulders fall further away from the ears as you breathe out, letting every bit of air back out of the body. And again, see if you can just start gently lengthening each breath. Maybe just take a moment and notice how your body's feeling in this moment. If there's any areas of tension or discomfort that are showing up. And if so, feel free to move and get yourself in a comfortable position. Don't feel like you have to stay totally rigid during the meditation, okay? Comfort is queen. And then I want you to imagine that it's a year from now. And I want you to think back to what you would have achieved and what you would have done in order to make this year a successful one. So what kind of person have you been over the last year? What kind of experiences have you had? What kind of people have you met? What kind of impact have you had on the world and others? So just basically having a little ponder on how you can make this next astrological year the most successful year yet. And just remember that success doesn't always need to be measured in how much money you make or what kind of job you have. Success can just be how happy you've felt, or again, the impact that you've had on others. So just think, what does success mean to you? And what kind of things can you put in place in order to make that happen this year? And then maybe ask yourself, if you were to show up as the best version of yourself this year, how would that impact others in your life? How would that impact your loved ones? If you were showing up as that best, highest version of you, the healthiest, the happiest, just notice how that ripple effect would take place in your life and how it would affect those in your circle. And then for the next few moments, I want you to just allow all of that to dissolve from your mind, and just let your thoughts go wherever they would like to go for these next few breaths. And try your best not to judge your thoughts when they come in. Try not to label it as a good thought, a bad thought, a positive, negative. Just notice the thought as it enters your head, acknowledge it, and then when you're feeling ready to, just gently let it go. And then when you're ready to, you might want to bring one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And again, just tune back into your breathing. Maybe have the deepest breath that you've taken all day yet. Feel your lungs and your belly expand with your breath. And then as you breathe out, just let it all go. And then when you're ready, you might want to open your eyes if you've had them closed. You might want to give your shoulders a gentle little shake. You might want to move in any way that feels good for your body. And then when you're ready again, you might want to rub your hands together. Feel that warmth, feel that energy. And then you might want to bring it to your face. Maybe bring it to the back of your neck. Maybe to your arms. And then bring your hands to your heart. Give yourself that thanks for taking the time to work on yourself. It's not the easiest thing to do. So please always just make sure that you appreciate that and give yourself that thanks for doing so. And yes, if you would like to delve a little bit deeper, okay, I am going to pop a post on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the YouTube notes. Basically, you would find your rising sign, and it's going to have a guide of what house your rising sign's in. So that can give you an idea of what themes could be showing up around this new moon, as well as for the full of the Aries season, okay? And like I say, I'm going to try and put some timestamps on the end of the videos as well to make it a little bit easier for you to just access the part of the workshop that you would like to access. And I know I did say it at the start, but if you did enjoy it, please like the video, please subscribe. It does help massively. If you know anyone who you feel might benefit from this kind of thing, feel free to send them the link over. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this new moon. I hope it's a positive one. But remember, just don't take this stuff too seriously and your life too seriously, because it is very easy as well to get caught in that trap of constantly feeling like we have to be better and doing more and constantly evolving and growing and even though that is such an amazing thing to do, it's amazing to want to be, leveling your life up in all these different ways. Just remember though to appreciate exactly where you are now, because if we're just constantly on this wheel of trying to be better, then that's a bit pointless, isn't it? You've got to stop, smell the roses, and realize when the work has been beneficial, and when you've up leveled in that way and you've found some sort of benefit, you've grown in a different way and all of that kind of stuff. So just make sure that you take the time to appreciate yourself exactly as you are now, and just know that you are enough right now before you've done any of this work. You're amazing exactly how you are. So try not to put too much pressure on this self-development thing. But around this time, like I say, use these energies, put these plans in places. I don't even think that makes any sense. I think I need another coffee. I don't know. But yes, like I say, enjoy the rest of your day. Let us know how things go. Feel free to leave a comment as well and kind of share what's shown up for you around this time, if you feel like you would feel comfortable enough to do so. And yeah, enjoy. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Lots of love. Bye.